Hi YouTubers, this is a video on portable air conditioners. This unit that I'm reviewing here or giving my opinion on is the Whynter 14,000 BTU portable air conditioner model ARC 14S. It's got a SACC rating of 9,500 BTUs, and there's the manual right there. The seasonally adjusted cooling capacity is a little bit more of an indicator of what it can do. The reason why I'm doing this video is on the portable air conditioners. There's lots of ones on YouTube, and it's basically by reviewers, manufacturers, and people like that. Not too many individual people that have purchased the unit and are reviewing it. There's a few on there, but not many. So that's why I'm doing it on this one. This unit is being used in a 12 by 20 outside Whynter. I'm in Central Florida, so it gets pretty hot down here. I have PGT Easy Breeze vinyl windows in our windows here. So they're vinyl windows, and we keep those closed when we have the AC on. I'm going to go ahead and get to what our impression is of it, and then I will give you a little installation tips that has helped me. We originally put a window AC unit in the Whynter out here, and because we heard those were better and it would cool better. We put an 8,000 BTU window unit in, and it did not do what we wanted it to do. It only decreased the temperature a couple of degrees over a period of a couple of days. Now, it was a LG unit. We thought a pretty good one, so we thought it would do it, but it didn't. So then we thought about the portable AC, but I've heard lots of bad things about those. I've seen them used in, businesses where they had maybe a power outage or AC breakage, and they would use them. But I never thought too much about it. And my wife said, "Well, why don't you try one?" So we did. We got this unit. We got it at Home Depot, and it works fabulously. We've had it for about 2 months, and we use it in the mornings when we come out to have our coffee, and it cools in about 15 minutes. Then we turn it off. Quite often we'll come out in the mid-afternoon about 4:30 or 5, and the temperature out in our Whynter is in excess of 90 degrees. We turn this unit on, and within an hour it's below 80 degrees, and it just works again fabulously. I didn't expect it. So we would highly recommend this unit or any other portable air conditioner if it was in comparable to this. Now, this is the dual hose unit. I'm not going to go into the pros and cons of that. You can look that up for yourself. But anyway, it works fine, and this is some insulation tips that that helped me. Now, it's got two hoses that exhaust. It's got an exhaust hose which puts out the hot air, and it sucks in the cooler air from outside. And those are the hoses right there. And I suggest that you wrap them in insulation. Now, the right hose is the exhaust, which gets really hot. The pipe gets hot. So if you're going to wrap the pipes, at least wrap that exhaust pipe. It helps tremendously with the heat inside of the room. And I wrapped both of them. One of the things I read about this is that during high humidity, you have to drain it a lot. Well, I'm in Central Florida, and brother, we got high humidity, and I've had this for 2 months, and I've never had to drain it once. They have a system where it collects the water, it blows back up on the coil, the exhaust coil, and it blows out through the exhaust vent, your water, and that's worked well for us. We've had no problem. The other problem I've seen a lot of people say is that this unit blows straight up. Here's the vent, and you can move it. It can go down, and it can go up. And that's that, and it'll go straight up. But you can, if you move it down a little bit, you can adjust it if you want it to go further straight into the room for you. So we've had no problem with that. It draws right now, as you can see, it's drawing about 1,118 watts. The most I've ever seen it draw out here is about 1,250 watts. That's about 10.4 amps. We have it on a 15 amp circuit. We don't have a lot on that circuit, but we've never had no problem with it blowing the circuit or anything else. The other thing that I will mention is that on the outside hose, when you mount it outside, this was my system here. And I've got the exhaust hose is to the right, and I've got a flapper on that, so when that turns off, the flap's closed so bugs and insects can't get in there. And I also have on the left side, that's the air intake. All right, these are 8.5 inches apart, which keeps the exhaust blowing out from not being sucked in by the intake. This is what they give you here. As you can see, those holes are quite a bit closer together, so I would suggest that you modify your system to have the holes, the exhaust vents further apart, so the hot exhaust air doesn't get immediately sucked in to your cool intake air. I also, on the intake air here, they recommend you put a filter because it's sucking air in to the coils. They recommend you do it right behind the unit. Well, I have all that wrapped up, so that's hard to do. So I've simply inserted a filter in the end of this hose, this exhaust vent right here. And I've inserted it in there so it prevents bugs from going in there, and also prevents the filter, the coils, from getting dirty. And I simply used one of these natural air cut to fit. I'm sure you've all seen these, and it's a pretty thick item, and I just cut a hole, a round hole the same size as that vent opening, and just put it in that vent. And that'll last a long time and easy to wash out. That is my installation tips. It's not very loud. I mean, you're going to get some noise, but it's out in our Whynter, and we haven't had any problem. We watch TV and stuff. Now, as far as the air that it puts out here, the cool air, as you can see, 56.8 coming out of the cool. So it puts out plenty of cool air. So we've had, again, plenty of luck with it. It's worked for us. There is some installation tips that you can do. I pointed out a few of them. And I would highly recommend this or any portable air conditioner because it's worked well for us. It's made us be able to use our outside Whynter in this hot Florida weather.